We had the most expensive primary in American history take place in Texas this last weekend or this last week. Between
70 million?
it's over 100 with just Cornyn. And they're ready to throw in another 50 for the runoff.
Really?
So money buys policy. Always has, always will. And unless the culture changes around the nature of government, that government is about like you treat it like a corporation in the sense that it's about the bottom line, mass product. How do we mass produce everything we need? And people go, well, that just makes the corporatists rich. No, it does not. Not well, it does, but it also makes the lower level people rich too. That's how you get the trickle down economy is if you have mass production and that's the metric of which we measure success, everyone benefits from that. Cause then we're producing like I said this the last time we were together. There's two ways to look at the universe, scarcity or abundance.
Mhm.
So if you look at the world in abundance, well, let's maximize abundance.
Yeah.
And the reason why the gatekeepers don't want that to happen is because they won't be the gatekeepers anymore because they're incompetent. And you hear that word a lot from a certain orange man running around.
Well,
They're incompetent. And he says that
they are.
because they're not, but they are, but it's also that it's a philosophy. It's a philosophy
Incompetence?
of, yeah. I mean, just listen to these hearings. They're just like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm just stupid. I'm just a dummy. I don't know what's going on. I just follow the rules. I follow what the lawyers tell me." Even though they know,
Yeah,
damn well they know.
like watching that Tim Waltz, him
I was
getting
just
his
thinking of that. Yes,
oh
exactly.
my god. Well,
Exactly.
I'm the governor and well, why would I know all the numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's kinda your job, bud.
Or you bring someone up and say, "Tell them the numbers."
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but, a good manager doesn't need to know all that stuff. The problem is he's not a good manager.
Because his metrics are about winning elections. That's his measure of success. That's all it is. And to win elections in America, it takes money and influence and
Lots of money.
networking. That's how you win elections. And what this whole attempt with the grassroots, as we call them, is an attempt of a organic rebellion against that. And it's just going to take a long time before people realize that's our only real mechanism to break this. And just we need people to lay down on the barbed wire until we get to a point where we realize how much power that we actually have. But here's the other problem, though, that I see down the road. You cannot expect, and this is where Plato's idea of the philosopher king comes into play, that you can't expect the entire populace to be savvy about geopolitics, about law, about physics, about the nature of you can't expect everybody to know enough about everything in order to make the right decision. That is a real problem. And that's why people tend to just, I don't want to, it's too complicated. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go what I feel off of. Enter in democracy. And that's why we are in a hell. Now, I don't know the right way out of that, but the mode of what I believe and Kukinda and Luongo and all these guys, they've all been saying like the only way out of this is and Trump has said this, our revenge will be our success.
Ah, okay.
Okay. It's going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
about production. And once you have those hard numbers and people that aren't, he doesn't like these people don't expect the populace to know everything about geopolitics and all this stuff. It's too complicated. They barely
Well,
understand it.
look at how much we've learned just by Corey, I running and all the stuff you have to do to even run, the rules that you have to show that you're in compliance with to just run for office. You can't
And there's a
even, you
lot of
have to
ways
have
to
a
get
bank.
disqualified.
Yeah, which is good and bad, but at the same time, and I've been watching politics since I was 7 years old, you know, with my dad on the job sites, listening to Rush Limbaugh was where we first started, and I never understand tw- the into, the intimate nature of what you have to do to get it all to function. It's just
it it
mind-boggling.
well, yeah, like, from an outsider, until you get into it in the middle of it, it's like a TV show you're watching. It's like these people are characters. You don't realize they're real until you go up and like, "Hello, Mr. Sid Miller. How are you today?" "Well, the government just tried to murder us all, and I'm trying to stop it." I'm like, "Okay, great. That's right on. Thank you, sir.
Keep keep up the good
Keep
work.
up the you keep doing that. Keep stopping that shit,
We really
please."
appreciate you trying to keep the government from killing us. I'm gonna go over here
He
now and
literally
have me a
told me
burger.
that to my face. I asked him, I'm like, because he was talking about how we were being targeted with our agriculture program or agriculture in America was being targeted for annihilation. And I asked him about COVID. I'm like, all right, just be honest. Like, please tell me what you actually think what happened. Is like they were trying to kill us off, and
Mhm.
they're just trying to buffalo us into a pen, and they're going for it. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
think it was
thank you for
they
telling me
also
that, because that makes me feel, I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse, but
damn.
Well, it gives you a direction.
well, I mean, I knew it was real, but having that permission slip from an authority figure saying, "No, you're not crazy. This is what's happening. We're fighting this every day," is kind of crazy. When you see them and you're looking them eye to eye and you're like, "Ooh, okay. This is real." Um, it's not just a figment of my imagination. I'm not just making stuff up.
But the thing that I find interesting about this whole process, I'm used to listening to pundits because I'm working and I'm in the middle of it, and you're listening to their interpretation of what's going on, and here or there or whatever. This is the first time that I sat down and watched on the Zoom or whatever their broadcast of all the meetings, and it's just like, and then with Corey, listening to him and helping him. Well, he's teaching me. We're
Navigate.
working through navigate through this stuff, and you're like, this lady was able to navigate through all this bullshit, and yet she is a complete idiot. How does she win this seat with her lack of knowledge of anything, and yet she's in a position where she can flip the balance of power? Hmm.
Are you asking the
Interesting.
question, or are you really confused
No,
by
it's more of
that?
an
Or
observation.
yeah, okay,
I
yeah,
just
it's
can't
an
understand it.
observation.
Rhetorical.
It's rhetorical. Yeah. It's like, how
Yeah,
can
but do you
this
understand
lady?
why they can?
Oh,
Okay. Corey, do you have an idea?
You know why they can win these
Mhm.
elections and be um, polarizing and
Well,
do nothing
they're
really
not
good.
thinking. They're regurgitating their permission structure of what they're allowed to talk about, and they win.
It's just like in school and tests. You learn what the teacher wants, and you spit it back out,
Yes.
and you get a good boy or a good girl. You get the A plus, and that's how it works. And you can throw a lot of money at the A plus people.
Because it's also predictable. That's what corporate or business models need, is predictability.
Hmm.
And that's what it comes down to, all the way down to your local county level. They need predictability.